All right, the question is restitution compulsory for one to make heaven? Is restitution compulsory for one to make heaven? Well, the point is, in the New Testament, restitution is not a doctrine. It's not a thing. Restitution is not a doctrine of the church. You see, a lot of people who advocate this restitution thing and then make it a compulsory thing in Christendom or in the walk of faith is a lot of them rather are predicating it on the action of what's the name of that short man, Zacchaeus. Okay, when Zacchaeus encountered Jesus, he said, if there's anybody I've taken anything from illegally, I'm going to restore fourfold. So on the basis of that, they institutionalize restitution, as a thing. But I mean, that example does not meet any test of Bible interpretation. You see, there's something called hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is the art of Bible interpretation. And interestingly, hermeneutics is not even only applicable to Bible interpretation. It is a thing in interpretation of documents generally. For instance, in law, you find similarities between Bible interpretation and even interpretation of legal instruments. And I'm telling you that instance of Zacchaeus does not meet any hermeneutical test. It does not, because that was a one-off. All right, it was a one-off. There's a law of single mention, there's a law of double mention, there's a law of first mention. These are things in Bible interpretation. Now, if something of single mention does not qualify to make a doctrine, for anything to constitute doctrine, it must have at least double mention. It must be mentioned in at least two places. And that's the principle of corroboration. So where there's no corroboration, it is not safe to make doctrine. Now, that issue of Lazarus was just a one-off. He was just a one-off Lazarus did. Perhaps out of the excitement of meeting Jesus. Remember, he had to climb the tree. That was how desperate he was. And then Jesus made him an offer. You're looking for something in Sokoto and you found it in your Sokoto. And then I'm sure out of that being overwhelmed, he made that expression of personal commitment. He was not making a law for anybody. Moreover, at the point he made that thing, he was not even an apostle as it were. Let me not even delve into all those areas, but he wasn't even qualified to make any law for anybody to follow, so to speak. So it was out of his being overwhelmed with meeting Jesus that he said that it would not be right to make a doctrine for everybody out of that. In any case, if you want to follow what Zacchaeus did, then follow it to the letter. If you will restitute, then restitute fourfold. Yes, so if you've taken 10 million naira from somebody, be ready to pay back 40 million. All right. So now I'm not saying that restitution is bad. No, if you've taken something from somebody and you have the means to return it, why not? It will be right to return it. In fact, in law, there's something called continuing trespass. That is, aside an act of trespass, there is continuing trespass. You have trespassed and you are still standing on that trespass. That's continuing trespass. So I'm saying that to say that it is the right thing to restitute, but it is not a doctrine as per to say if one does not restitute, he will not make heaven. No. Making heaven is not about what one does or what one does not do. Making heaven is about what one believes. Do you believe the gospel? Do you believe that Jesus died for the sins of mankind? Do you believe that by his death and resurrection, your sins have been paid for? That is what determines one's eternal fate. Not whether one restitutes or not, whether one fights or not, whether one steals or not. Those are works. It is good to do good things, to do the right things, but those things do not even qualify to fetch one eternity with God. Do you understand? So restitution, as much as it is good, it is morally right, it is not a doctrine. It is not a requirement for making heaven. And I hope this helps someone. Blessings.